Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to this webinar organized by Ascari Academy with the partnership of BARBRI. First of all, I would like to briefly introduce myself. My name is Lucia Zelednik. I am an Italian lawyer and a solicitor in England and Wales. Thank you all for joining us today to this webinar. The aim of this webinar is to provide you with more detailed information on the courses to qualify as a solicitor in England and Wales. Before the webinar starts, I would like to briefly introduce the Ascari Group and the services we provide. The Ascari Group is a group made of 3 companies based in London. We have the Ascari Academy, the Ascari Partners, which is an accountancy company providing tax consultancy services to its client. Then we have the Ascari Nelson, which is a law firm that provides services in the legal sector, and the Ascari Academy, which is a company that offers professional tax training courses. As many of you already know, BARBRI is a company leader in the preparation of courses for law students and for legal professionals, such as, for example, candidates seeking to qualify as a solicitor of England and Wales. Now, my colleague Linda Calistri will introduce the webinar and will also introduce the speakers for BARBRI School. Thank you.
Good afternoon to everyone. My name is Linda Calistri and I'm a trainee solicitor for Ascari Nelson LLP. Today, we have Claire Flores and Matthew Wheeler with us from BARBRI. As you may already know, last year we decided to partner with BARBRI, which is leader in its sector for the organization of preparation courses for SQE exams to become solicitors in England and Wales. In particular, we appreciated the growing interest from our collaborators and attendees in qualifying as solicitors in England and Wales, especially after the success of the webinar we had last year together with BARBRI. This is why the speakers of today, Claire Flores, Head of International Business Development, and Matthew Wheeler, Business Development Manager at BARBRI, will explain to us the SQE path to become a solicitor, with a focus on the exemptions available to the lawyers already qualified in other jurisdictions. I will now leave the floor to Claire and Matthew. Welcome to you both.
Thank you so much, Linda, and thank you so much, Lucia. My name is Claire Flores, as noted, and I am the Head of International Business Development here at BARBRI. I'm joined by my colleague, Matthew Wheeler. Matthew, would you like to say hi?
Hi, everybody. Good afternoon.
Great. And today, as noted, we're going to discuss the SQE program, the Solicitors Qualifying Exam, and do a bit of a workshop for you and tell you all about the exam itself, the exemption process specifically for qualified lawyers, especially in Italy, and the BARBRI Prep courses that we provide to help you succeed on those courses. If you have any questions, there is a Q&A chat box in the Zoom link. Feel free to write your questions in as we move through the presentation, and we will be happy to answer them at the end. All right.
Perfect. Thank you. Thank you very much, Claire and Matthew. I'll leave it to you and enjoy the webinar.
Thank you so much. Okay, so the first order of business is to discuss really why you should consider qualifying in England and Wales as whether you're a lawyer or an advocate in Italy or in another country, or even if you are an accountant or another type of professional that works in the legal space, there are pathways for you to become a solicitor in England and Wales. So first, let's discuss the why this might be appropriate for you in your career. Some considerations to think about is that England and Wales is the second largest legal market globally, and the legal sector itself is worth about 45 billion annually, and it's growing. So there's a lot of opportunity in the legal sector for growth, not only for those that live and practice law here in England and Wales, but also globally. It is a global legal hub in that London is a top international hub, and English law makes up of 48% of chosen law in international arbitration and cross-border transactions. That means by venue and by choice of law, it is the #1 most preferred choice of law in most international and cross-border transactions. And the SRA, which is the Solicitors Regulation Authority, is actually expanding the exemption process, which allows a lot of European lawyers to have a more straightforward path to become a qualified solicitor and be able to practice law. And this mechanism actually increases and strengthens the English law prevalence across the globe in international law. English offices are also globalizing. As you know, Ascari is in London, as well as most Vault 100 law firms and Fortune 500 companies, and of course, Big Four accounting firms. Getting qualified in as a solicitor in England and Wales also allows you to set yourself apart and broaden your network. It allows you to provide extra services to your clients in that you can analyze the different bodies of law and provide guidance on choice of law, choice of contract, clause choices, and all of that fun stuff that comes with international law and contractual law. So it really allows you to provide better services for your clients and potentially create business development opportunities for you and your law firm across the globe. So how do you qualify as a solicitor? The solicitor's qualifying exam is something that has come through in 2021. BARBRI was the first to launch actually a course for the SQE. We were first to market, and it is the new route to legal qualification in England and Wales. It is a two-stage exam assessment. The first stage is SQE1. This is a mixed subject multiple choice test question, and SQE2 is your legal skills assessment. These are taken at two separate times, and you must complete SQE1 before completing SQE2. And many lawyers from many jurisdictions are actually exempt from SQE2, which is the practical part of the exam. This means that many lawyers, including those from Italy, only need to complete the multiple choice portion of the SQE1, and you can do this at a Pearson VUE Center in your home country if it is available. So again, that exemption kind of mechanism has really cleared the pathway for international lawyers to get qualified, and we'll dig into that more in a minute. So if you think about the SQE route, it's really a round of stages. As mentioned, SQE1 is your first stage, and that's your functioning legal knowledge test. And that's where via the SQE1, you are tested on your legal knowledge through multiple choice tests. The SQE stage 2 is either the SQE exam 2 or your exemption, which is your proof of practice and qualification in your home jurisdiction. If you're not exempt, the SQE2 is a practical exam that must be taken either here in England or in Wales, and is a combination of writing assessments and oral assessments. The third stage is the qualifying work experience. But if you are a qualified lawyer in your home jurisdiction, you are exempt actually from this qualifying work experience. If you're not a lawyer, or if you haven't received your qualification yet, or if you're a non-law graduate, qualifying work experience will be required, and it will be needed to be signed off by a UK solicitor. And finally, after these three stages are completed, you'll complete something called the character and suitability requirements. This is essentially a background reference check to make sure you are morally fit and have good moral character to sit and practice law. After those 4 stages, you are a qualified solicitor in England and Wales. So let's dig in a little bit deeper to the exams. SQE1 exam, first and foremost, is a mixed subject multiple choice test. It is a 2-day exam with 360 questions, and it is computer based. The exam fee is £1,799. The subjects that are tested on the SQE1 exam are the following: business law and practice, dispute resolution, contracts, torts, the legal system of England and Wales, constitutional, administrative law and EU law, legal services, property practice, wills and the administration of estates, solicitors' accounts, which is kind of like solicitors' accounting, land law, trusts, and criminal law and practice. And as you can see, taxation, ethics, and professional conduct will pervade throughout the examination. The second part of the exam is SQE 2. This is the practical exam and your legal skills assessment. This is only available after you've completed the SQE 1, and the costs are £2,766. You must physically come to England and Wales in order to complete the in-person portion of the exam. So client interviewing and advocacy and case analysis are all done in person. So you must travel for that portion of the exam. The second half of the exam is legal research, writing, and drafting. And this part of the exam can be conducted at a Pearson VUE computer site as well. And this part of the exam really tests your practical skills, and you create some sort of work product with some facts and create research based on the facts that you're given in the moment, and you develop some sort of work product based on your practical experience, similar to junior associates or trainee solicitor assignments you might do. So now let's talk about individual exemptions. As noted before, if you are a qualified lawyer in certain jurisdictions, you may be exempt from the SQE 2. In Italy, if you are a qualified avvocato, you need to provide a reference that you have at least 6 months of legal work experience post-qualification, and you have a certificate of good standing for your certification of being an avocado in Italy. And with that, you are exempt from the second part of the exam. So as you can see, this is a big resource saving in your time and your investment, and allows you to focus on the functioning legal knowledge. And that means you can take the SQE 1 and bypass the SQE 2 and the qualifying work experience and become qualified as an English solicitor. So let's dig in further about how you actually get this qualification. We have a really helpful checklist we'll circulate after the fact that takes you through the process, but it is very straightforward. We've seen several Italian lawyers get their exemptions approved. There's a nominal fee attached, but it's a fairly quick process. So first you would create an account with the SRA or log into your existing account. I would recommend, even if you're thinking about applying for the qualification, to go ahead and create an existing account and register. It's completely free, but it starts to give you the information that you'll need. You'll then add your jurisdiction where you are qualified in. So you'll provide your country, state, or territory and date of qualification. After you've done those initial starter steps, you'll then begin a new application, and you'll look for the individual application for a qualified lawyer exemption. You'll download this form and fill it out according to its instructions. If you have an individual exemption, which means you'll provide some professional legal work experience, you will need to provide extra documents regarding that experience you might have. After you complete your form, you will upload your documents, including the PDF completed form and all of your supporting documents. This includes your certificate of good standing, your references, and your references certificates of good standing, and that proof of practical experience after your qualification. Then you'll submit and pay. It is a nominal fee of £265 in order to get this exemption. Again, that's a smaller investment than the SQE 2 as a whole. And once that's complete, you can monitor your progress. It takes about 180 days to process and decide your exemption. It can be less depending on how backed up the application process is. However, 180 days is the most that it will take to get your exemption approved. After your exemption is approved, you can book your course and book your exam. If you have not yet taken your SQE1 exam, you'll want to enroll in the BARBRI SQE1 Prep course and book your exam once it's available. And then after your results are complete, so after you take the exam, you will then need to complete, of course, the character and suitability. Then you are admitted to the role of solicitors, which you can come to London and sign once the process is complete. So that's the process as to how you get qualified in England and Wales. Next is why you should choose BARBRI as your course preparation. And really, it comes down to that we have a really great international focus on our courses and have really developed an SQE1 prep course and an SQE2 prep course that is specifically flexible and created with international lawyers in mind. So we service graduates and lawyers that are qualified abroad, law graduates, non-law graduates, and candidates with full-time or part-time commitments across the globe. And there are some key notes about our SQE prep courses that set it apart. First and foremost is something called our personal study plan. This is the assignments and how they are delivered through our online platform. And it's run by something called Isaac, or our Intuitive Study Assistant and Coach. And our PSP and Isaac work together to deliver your assignments at the exact right time that will garner the most points on your exam in the long run. So we prioritize the lectures, the readings, and then drilling the multiple choice and practice questions. We have really top-notch multiple choice exam expertise. The SQE1 itself was drafted with the US bar exam in mind in the multiple choice portion of the US bar exam. And with that, we've really honed in how to approach a multiple choice test, which might be foreign, honestly, to international lawyers or even English common law lawyers. So we've really developed an expertise on how to approach multiple choice exam questions, teach you how to how to read the call of the question the question, and it's a real systemic approach on how to take the exam. And we've done this and honed that process for over 50 years with the US and have brought it to the English solicitor exam with great results. We also offer bespoke hard copy resource books as well. So we don't just drop the Oxford University Prep course books on your doorstep. We've read them, we've distilled them, and we've developed exam-specific resource books that teach to the test. So you'll have the black letter law for sure, but you'll also have exam tips and hypotheticals that really teach to the exam itself and is built in with mind maps and charts to help you visual learners really conceptualize the different rules of law. With our course, you're also provided a one-on-one personal learning coach, which will check in on you every step of the way and allows you to make one-on-one meetings at any point in time of your course and as many times as you'd like to discuss your study habits and make sure that you're on track. This is a really great tool for international students and lawyers to be able to check in with someone consistently to see how you're doing and to develop any study habits that you might not have or to really check in and support your studies. We also work with top law tutors and lecturers as well. Not only are our tutors and lecturers experts in their subject matter of law, but they're also experts in the exam. So they, again, really distill in their lectures and books what you need to know in a massive subject, what you need to know for the exam and how to be successful in the exam. And finally, our learning team puts on Prep for Success workshops, which really provides study habit tips and tricks throughout the exam as well. One thing to also mention is our learning coaches provide open office hours. You can drop in and listen to what other students are asking and ask your questions in a more community setting as well. So in preparation for the SQE1 July exam, the next exam for SQE1 is in July, and then the following exam is January 2025. We have a 40-week, a 20-week, and a 10-week course. If you are really ready to go, our 20-week course does start this February, on February 19th for this July exam. And it's really a great course if you have about 20 hours per week flexibly to study. If that course is a little bit too time consuming for your full-time practice or other commitments, we do have a flexible 40-week course, which is 10 to 12 hours of work per week, of study work per week. And this is really ideal for our international lawyers. And that course will begin in April. And finally, we have a 10-week course, which is about 35 hours per week ahead of the July 2024 exam. This course is really a full-time job course. So really only take the 10-week accelerated course if you can commit to studying as you would a full-time job. Usually, we typically see our international graduates or non-law graduates and international attorneys take the 20-week or 40-week course. And for the January 2025 exams, it's pretty much the same. Our 40-week course does begin this April for January. 20-week course will begin this September, and then our 10-week course begins around October or November. Let's look at BARBRI SQE Prep courses in the number. So as I noted, we do have incredible expertise in the multiple choice questions and how we teach our students to approach those multiple choice questions and that systematic approach. And it shows in the numbers. We are seeing a 77% pass rate of over 300 plus students passing the SQE, and compare that to the pass rate overall of about 53%. We're also getting really high ratings on our personal study plan. So just by doing the work with BARBRI, you're more likely to pass just by doing the work with BARBRI. In preparation for SQE2, we offer a 20-week course, which is about 10 to 15 hours per week. This is our singular course, and it's really effective for anyone, really, and allows you to practice and do all of the practice feedback you need for all of those legal skills assessments, and also while keeping your full-time practice commitments. It's a really reasonable course. And here are some numbers for our SQE2 prep courses. As you can see, again, very successful courses, and we're seeing an 83% pass rate for SQE2 courses ahead of the 77 average course rate. Here, I'll leave you with a couple of testimonial quotes that we've received from some of our students. Severin Smith says she was particularly impressed by the availability of the tutors. The study guides and the workbooks were straight to the point without overloading with too much information, and she very much enjoyed studying with BARBRI. Rebecca has really enjoyed working with BARBRI and have found the service very easy to use and helpful. I'm someone that's taken the US bar exam and passed, and I've passed the first part of the qualification series here in England and Wales, and I can also speak to the efficacy of the exam. It's really straightforward, easy to use platform, online, flexible, and ultimately helps you pass the exam, which is the end result we all want to have. So finally, I'll leave you with some fees and enrollment numbers. The SQE1 course is £2,999. We do have a special scary discount code for 5% off. The code is ASCH5. If you are ready to enroll now, you can scan that QR code and avail yourself of those discounts. Again, our next course is starting February 19th for the July 2024 exam. If you're not yet ready to enroll and you have a couple more questions about the exemption process, the exams, our courses, feel free to reach out. me and Matthew are available, and we also have some resources and internal team members that can help discuss the course with you. So please feel free to reach out. And with that, I think we'll move to questions.
That's great. Thank you, Claire. So we have one question that's come through on Q&A. This is from Nilofar. He says, the cost of your pre-course is not suitable for all. Do you have any scholarships for some people?
Sure. We do have a handful of scholarships and payment plan options. So we typically provide scholarships for different sectors. There's an essay competition, a humanitarian scholarship, and there's one more, and a public service scholarship. So if you work in public service, you can also be availed of a scholarship. We will also circulate the scholarship page so you can review this and see what applies for you. It depends on the person and what you can apply for, and it depends on how many we take. The scholarship, the essay competition is of course a competition and has certain parameters. The humanitarian and public service scholarships are more about the person themselves, and if they fit a certain scholarship parameter, then we offer the scholarships for them. If a scholarship is not availed to you, we of course have the 5% discount for all SCARY students, and we also have payment plans as well. So our payment plans are broken up depending on the course that you take. The longer course that you have, the longer the payment plan that is available to you. So I think we have up to 6 payments for our 40-week course, and that's growing. If you're also located in the UK, we do have some financing options as well for those. In addition, we tend to reward students that enroll early, so we tend to run early bird discounts as well. And look for those. They have already passed for the July 2024 exams, but we should expect some for the 2025 exams shortly, and we'll keep you informed of those as well. So you can avail yourself of the early bird discount if those scholarships aren't available. And you can use the early bird discounts with the payment plans as well. Yeah.
Brilliant, fantastic. So the next question we have is from Elena. What is a certificate of good standing? They're not sure if they have an Italian equivalent when it comes to individuals, as the concept is used for legal entities.
That's a great question. So it's the certificate of good standing is what we use in the United States and England and Wales, but the name might change depending on your jurisdiction. The jurisdiction, I don't know the exact nomenclature for Italy, but we can look that up, but it's the equivalent of your license, that your license is in good standing to practice. You have the eligibility to practice, and you haven't been disbarred essentially. So you've achieved your qualification and you have rights to practice in your home jurisdiction. Whatever certificate or document from the governing body that produces that is effective as your certificate of good standing. We can actually go back to the slide in particular about the Italy exemption and see what it says as well. So an admission certificate or certificate of good standing, whatever the equivalent is of the governing body of your local bar. Great.
Sorry, Claire, if I interrupt, maybe
Yes.
I can provide some more useful information on this point, because we
Yes, please.
had the same, we had to provide also certificates to register as solicitor. So basically it should be like a certificate from the Albos, from the governing body of Italian lawyers, confirming that the lawyer is regularly registered in the Albo degli Avvocati, and it's practicing, and there are no pending proceeding or claims against the lawyer. at the time. So I think that one should be enough probably to provide the exemption. Thank you.
Yes, I agree. I think that's the correct document. All right, I think that is it for questions.
That's it for questions. Thank you.
So Claire, I think we don't have any more questions. Yeah, I wanted to thank Matthew for today for explaining everything about BARBRI. Of course, if anyone has any question, you can contact BARBRI directly. You can even write to us, to Ascari Academy, using the email address info@ascari.academy. We will provide you with more information and also put you in contact with Claire for more detailed info in case you need them. Thank you so much for joining us today, and have a good afternoon, everyone.